Well, hi everybody, and welcome to our Ivy Gate studio. This canvas is going to become, before your eyes, the print that we are going to feature during our satellite event. And it will be available only during the satellite event. It's what I'm calling a Chalk Talk print, and it will be a subject that will feature, I think, a lighthouse. I've had on my mind lighthouses. Of course, you've seen my Conquering the Storms painting. I've got a few other lighthouse images that I'll be presenting over the next year or so. So this will be the first ever lighthouse pastel sketch. Now I'm doing it in pastels because I find that pastels give me a chance to very quickly capture a soft effect of light. The first thing I'm going to do is tape off our subject. I love to have the perfect proportion, which to me will be 18 by 24 for this particular subject. That's the size of the original, and I think the print will be 12 by 16, so we will be able to shrink the image to fit a perfect size for decorating. 12 by 16 inches is one of my favorite sizes, so that's where we're going to end up with on the image size. After I lay the tape down, I burnish it, burnish the edge with the side of a brush. Now the subject that I want to do is a lighthouse, so we will sketch that in. And I had in mind a lighthouse similar to one I had seen in real life. It's a lighthouse that I sketched along the coast, the Pacific coast. And I want to create a sunset effect in the pastel painting. I love lighthouses, especially with the little cottage beside it. Feels so cozy as you see the ocean down below and the idea of a lighthouse. Now we're going to make it sunset, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some initial color and lay on the sunset tones. Again, as I said, pastel is very soft, and what we're going to do is, as I'm working the tones, I will blend them, as you can see. This is a cotton canvas similar to the one I use for my oil paintings. So as I work on the pastel painting, it has a texture that allows the paint to blend. Start to bring in some clouds. Now, as I work on the foreground, pastel is pure pigment, so you don't blend it on your palette the way you do with oil paints. So you blend it up on the surface. It has just a wonderful look that's very impressionistic. It has that sense of color being blended by hand, stroke upon stroke. Well, now we have the basic painting, the silhouette at least, laid in. And what I do at this point is I begin to put in what I call broken color, and that's where you begin to see all the individual brush strokes of the pastel. I was thinking of this hillside as being illuminated from the side. So now we start to put the light onto the hillside. Again, using a lot of broken color. I find that it's easier to begin the painting with very dull colors, and then I start to work the luminous qualities onto it. Very similar to what I do in my oil paintings, which I call creating the color envelope. And once you've created that envelope, then you can come in and begin to luminize gradually. And you'll see here, That's exactly what I'm doing. Now in the final painting, the goal is to create that sketchy look of all those strokes. If you look at the paintings of Degas, those beautiful pastel paintings, and the sketchiness is what is so marvelous about the medium of pastel. It allows you to see every color. Well, now I'm starting to bring in the effect of the splashing waves, and that starts to detail it out again. You can see those white waves. Now for the star of the show, our lighthouse. The lighthouse is going to be silhouetted against the sky. So first, I will want to put in all the dark tones of the lighthouse itself, as though the whole of the lighthouse were in shadow. Then I'll take some darker colors and blend it. Now next to our lighthouse, of course, we have the little cottage. Just very simple. Now we're starting to get some of the sense of mood. I take the sky and I keep building more color into it. And you'll notice up here, I begin to bring some pinkish tones behind the yellowish, off-white kind of cast. And again, the look that is so wonderful about pastel is that quality of vigorous sketchwork. It all blends. Well, I've got the grass in, and so now I put a little trail in to kind of invite us up to our little cottage on the hill. I'll take that same color and create other patches of ground, suggesting that perhaps the lighthouse keeper has spent a lot of time wandering out on these beautiful bluffs. The same color is utilized for the lit side of our hills. The dark side of the hills will also require a little color, what I like to call transparent shadows, meaning you don't see just a black opaque tone, you see form inside the shadow. Every time I introduce a new color, I like to extend it throughout other areas of the painting. That creates what I would refer to as color unity. I'll bring in some more broken color, that red tone that I'm using. I'll bring that in just a little denser, and then bring some of that lovely earthy tone throughout the rest of the foliage, and maybe even a little bit down in here into our rock areas. Create some sense of the shadows that should be darker. To do that, I'm going to blend with my finger with a little bit of black. Another broken color over it to not let it go too dead. It's a way to bring density to those shadows. And again, in the case here, we'll bring it up and then we'll just drop it right down. See how that brings in that sense of shadow. And then we'll create the illusion of a shadow or a dark shade area behind our house. And of course, you got to have a chimney to warm you on a chilly night there along the ocean. So I'll draw that in with the hard pastel first, and then we'll suggest perhaps some smoke. Just a slight bit. Now for the fun part. We get to put in the light. Of course, in pastel, that's easy because the pigments are so opaque that you can literally draw right in the light that you want. How about a little sense of light within the cabin? And then up here, the star of the show, our lighthouse. Let's bring a little sense of detail to it. And then let's take the one color I've yet to use, white. And we'll bring the white in, and we will suggest a very brilliant beam within the lighthouse. A yellow pigment. We silhouette it with yellow. Creates that sense of luminous light within the center. We bring up some rails. This is not the time to be jittery with your hand. You need to draw with it very careful strokes. And let's put on some light hitting the side of our beautiful lighthouse building, suggesting that sunlight is still capturing it. Well, we're coming to the conclusion of our work session, and I decided to title this painting Sunset Light because I think that summarizes the mood of the painting. Remember, this will be made into a print right from the pastel painting. And when we do the print, I want to try to capture all the same sense of stroking and coloration with layer upon layer into the final print. It will be a paper lithograph with a 12:16 image size. And remember, this print will be available in the next few weeks for the participating dealers during our satellite event. So this is an exciting opportunity for a very limited edition print for those who take part. Of course, what would a Thomas Kinkade painting be without a hidden N? So I will take and put an N on the lighthouse, which you'll be able to see in your print. Make sure you point it out to people. And of course, we'll add some last final details. For example, a bird in the sky. Everybody loves seeing those birds. I put a bird in almost every painting. Very symbolic. And then the other detail that I have to add, a sailboat out on the horizon, making his way into the light. Well, it's fun to work in a different medium, and this is the first time I've created a painting for publication in the medium of pastel. So it's kind of a historic event for me in that we've never printed a pastel painting. It'll be interesting to go through the process of working on that print in this new medium. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this painting come to life. And now for the unveiling of the final version, complete in its frame, we return you to the studio. God bless.